I'm gonna be making with you homemade slider buns. So let's get into the kitchen and start baking. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're going to take 1 cup of lukewarm water, and you're gonna just put it in either a measuring cup, leave it right in there, or put it into a bowl. And to that, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of dry active yeast, active dry yeast, and then 3 tablespoons of sugar. And then we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm not sure if I said teaspoon or tablespoon of yeast, but you did 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast. I just mixed it up really good, and this is what it looks like. So we're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes until it gets bubbly. And while we're waiting for that to sit, we'll move on to the next step. And then once this has sat for 10 minutes, I'll let you look at what it looks like. Okay, so now we're going to, in this bowl, this here has been for about 5 minutes, so I'm going to leave it another 5. But in the meantime, in this bowl, I'm going to put in 3½ cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 egg. And then when that mixture is done proofing and bubbling or whatever you want to call it, we're also going to put that in here, and we're going to mix it all together on the stand mixer. So let's go ahead and put in the flour, the salt, and the egg into here. And then I'll show you the proofing mixture once it's proofed. All right, so I didn't put the egg in yet. I just put in 3½ cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt. I got doing something, so I forgot. 1 teaspoon of salt. And now I'm gonna put in the 1 egg, only because I don't know, I didn't want the egg to sit in there and not be mixed right away. So I'm gonna put the 1 egg in now, and you can see this has been basically 10 minutes, but it's foamy. And we're gonna pour that in as well. And then I'm gonna mix it really, really well with a spatula. And then I'm going to put the entire batter onto my stand mixer. I already have my dough hook on, and we're gonna mix it on high speed for 5 minutes. So let's put this the egg and this into the dry ingredients. I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you this from the top view of what it looks like. And then we're gonna put it in, give it a mix, and throw it on the stand. So let's do it. So this is what I mean by it's bubbly, it's foamy, and it's ready to go. So this is what it looks like now that I have it mixed really well. And I'm going to take all the excess dough off the spatula, and then I'm going to put it onto my stand mixer here with the dough hook, and we're going to put it on high speed for 5 minutes. So let's do that. All right, so I had it on high and it started flying out of the bowl. So I have it on about medium. So once it incorporates a bit more, which it has now, I'm going to turn it up. And I'm probably going to leave it on this one here for about 5 minutes, and then we will do the next step. Okay, so it says to do that until 5 minutes or until smooth, and it's pretty smooth. It's basically your ball of dough that you're looking for. But now what we're gonna do, let me try and get it off the hook here. There we go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 softened tablespoons of butter. And we're gonna mix it for another 5 minutes until the butter has incorporated itself into the dough. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is a bit new. I've never made buns like this, and it's kind of different. So when I added the softened butter, this is what it looks like. It looks like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to incorporate itself? But it's going to. You're going to need about 5 minutes. It's going to take the dough from where it was pretty hard. You've seen how it took me a bit to get it off the hook, to more elasticy and a dough where it's going to be, I don't know, I guess not so dense, like a fluffy bun. So I'm going to let it go here for another 4 minutes, about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so there is the dough. It's a lot more elasticy and more doughy, not so hard. And now what I'm gonna do is, it says just to cover and let rise for an hour. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of olive oil and go around the edges of this pot. I'm not gonna transfer it, I don't think I need to do that, but I wanna make sure that it doesn't stick as it rises. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm just gonna cover it and let it rise, and then we'll move on to the next steps once it has risen for an hour. Okay, so here we go. It's wrapped. It says place somewhere warm. My daughter left a half apple, ate in there. I'm gonna put it right here because it's by somewhere warm. I'm actually cooking ribs and some pulled pork, and that's what the slider buns are for. So I'm gonna put it here and we'll let it rise for an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour. You can see that it's huge. We're gonna take it over and roll it, or not roll it out, but punch it down and divide it out into 18 buns. So let's go do that. Okay, so usually I use my pastry cutter, but it's in the dishwasher. So I just used a knife. I've cut it into my portions there. Now what I'm gonna do is roll them out into, or not roll them out, sorry, but kind of form them into a ball and tuck the ends in and pinch them. And then what I have here is a prepared tray. I'm gonna put them in here because I kind of want them to form together as they rise and when I bake them. So we're gonna put them into balls, and then we're gonna put them in here, and then we're gonna cover them and let them rise again for another 30 to 45 minutes. So let's get them into some ball shapes and into the pan. Okay, so there they are. I got 12 out of it. It's a little unproportioned how I have it here, but that's totally okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay a towel over it and let them rise for another 35, 40, 45 minutes. We'll see, around 30, 45 minutes, and then we will be able to get them basically put into the oven. So let's let them rise, and then I will show you what they look like. Okay, so they have doubled in size. I just had this towel laying over them while they rose some more. Now I'm going to just use a brush and put some melted butter over them. I've got the oven preheating to 365 or 356, I think it is. Let me see. Yes, there we go. Preheat to 356. And then we're going to put some melted butter on top the buns, and we're going to bake them for 15 minutes or until golden brown, and then they'll be ready to come out. So let's brush them with some butter. All right, so there you go. We have the butter on the buns, and then let's put them in the oven and bake them for 15 minutes. All right, let's put them in the oven. And set the timer for 15, 15. All right, let's see what they look like in 15 minutes. And we are 5 minutes in. Okay, let me see. All right, they're done, so I'm gonna take them out and I'll show you. Okay, here they are. They look really, really good. So I'm just gonna let them cool for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna pull them out by the parchment paper, and then we'll just peel them apart, and we can use them to serve for dinner, for whatever, or just eat them with butter, however you want. But they look really good. But we'll let them sit, and then I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so I have them taken out of the pan, and they look so good. I'm just gonna, ooh, they're super hot still. Just gonna pull them apart like this. And there you go. You've got a fresh bun, and oh my gosh, they look really, really good. So give them a try. I'll link this recipe below in the description. And give it a try for yourself. Let me know how it is in the comments. Like this video, share it with a friend who you think might like it, or just save it for a later day to make yourself. And as always, hit that bell, subscribe so you never miss a video, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.